It's an interesting time for business. Tariff and trade policies are dynamic, supply chains are squeezed, and cash flow, it's tighter than ever. If your business can't adapt in real time, you are in a little bit of hurt. So how do you get full visibility and adapt in real time? Over 42,000 businesses trust NetSuite by Oracle, your AI-powered business management suite. It brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all under one roof. NetSuite is the #1 cloud ERP for a reason. It's your single source of truth, giving you the data and control you need to move quickly. Real-time forecasting helps you move into the future with confidence, and with AI built in, you can automate the busy work and focus on strategy. NetSuite helps you see what's stuck, what it's costing you, and how to pivot fast. If I were running a business with a lot of moving parts, I'd use NetSuite for full control over everything. Tame the chaos with NetSuite. If your revenues are at least in the 7 figures, download the free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders at netsuite.com/SPI. That's netsuite.com/SPI. The perfect product launch. It's the goal for every brand marketer. High heat, fast sellout, and fans posting recipes like trophies. What do Sydney Sweeney's soap drop, Taylor Swift's tickets, and your next launch have in common? Well, they're not bought, they're bragged about. Fanfare turns your drop into a moment. Fanfare cues real fans, blocks bots, and builds launch experiences worth screenshotting. Want hype without the heartbreak? Get Fanfare's 5-step hype drop playbook with our proven success formula and make your next launch unforgettable at fanfare.io/playbook. Again, fanfare.io/playbook.
You're listening to the Smart Passive Income Podcast, a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network, a show that's all about working hard now so you can sit back and reap the benefits later. And now your host. If there was one thing he could banish in the world to make it a better place, it would be complaints. Pat Flynn.
Hey, I got a strategy that's going to help you no matter what niche you're in, no matter what level you're at, and something that is super fun to do. What's this strategy? Well, you saw the title. It's called The Up-and-Comers. That's the strategy. Connect with the up-and-comers in your space. Now, this does a couple things. I'm just going to dive right into it, and then I'm going to teach you a clear example of how I did this. This does 2 things. Number 1, it forces you to be involved in the space that you're in enough to know who the up-and-comers are. A lot of times, especially if you've been doing business for a little bit, talking even just a year, you might be so into where you're at and what you're doing and building and scaling and all the things that you need to do that you already start to feel removed from the space that you're in. You might feel like you are not as in tune with the niche that you started in because you're building a business now. You're not involved. You are involved. Wait, that doesn't really make sense, but hopefully it makes sense or hopefully what I'm trying to say makes sense, because this happened with the lead exam stuff. I was so involved in that space. I knew anything and everything about the lead exam, and just a year and a half in after I started my business, it was much, much harder to stay involved and stay up to date with all the things that were going on. And thankfully, the industry didn't change super quickly. It eventually changed to the point where I couldn't keep up. And then I just shifted from selling my own product to then affiliate marketing, because then I could just push toward those people who were still in that space and up to date. But I've seen this with my students as well. Start out as a graphic designer, you're doing all the graphic design things, and all of a sudden you're not doing any more graphic design work. You don't even know who's involved in it anymore. You're just trying to run your agency, and you kind of lose track of all that. So by really thinking about, well, who are the up-and-comers? You get involved in the news, you start watching and consuming content, even from those who you haven't heard of before. You start kind of talking to people and communicating with the space. And the other part of this is when you understand who the up-and-comers are, when you help them, it is huge. Not just for them, but for you as well. I think the world would be a better place if those of us, all of us who were ahead in our space, helped those who were behind us, right? And you may have heard me share this strategy, or not this strategy, but this metaphor before, where I want to be the person. I think you should be the person with the machete sort of at the front of the industry, chopping down the dangerous bush and thorns and kind of keeping people behind you safe from all the saber-toothed tigers that are out there, and kind of keeping a lookout, and then looking back and going, all right, guys, come on, let's go. And you could take everybody along with you. You will be risen up as a result of that. And this is happening to me right now. It has happened in the Pokemon space. It's why I've been able to grow so quickly in the Pokemon space, because I wasn't just trying to make connections and try to be friends with all the top people in the space. In fact, I made it a mission to try to get to know all the others, the people who don't often hear from those who are with several subscribers or a big email list or who have a lot of reach, right? And the cool thing is, I've seen it firsthand, and I just saw this past weekend. I was at an event called Collecticon in Long Beach, California. And I mean, there were a few of the bigger creators there, but most of the time I was hanging out with the sort of medium to starter creators who were just so generous, so giving, so thankful. A couple people came up to me and said, Pat, you changed my life with how you welcomed me into the community. And all I did was pay a little attention, make them feel included. And I promise you, you will stand out. And what's really amazing is some of these people who started out pretty recently are now on an amazing trajectory. And it's cool because they credit me with a lot of their success. And although on the surface and from the outside, they might seem like a competitor, we're friends. We're helping and supporting each other out. And my gosh, if the world worked more like that, the world would be such a better place. And guess what? You have the opportunity to step up and do your part in your own little world to do that. And I challenge you to do that. Do you even know who the up-and-comers are in your space? Chances are probably not, because you are so focused on the things that, yeah, you need to be focused on, and it's hard. But if you spend a little bit of time, just maybe a half a day on Friday, to get involved in the general community, to talk to people about who is up and coming, and to talk to the up and comers and to spend time with them, they're going to feel so grateful to spend time with you. And it is a mutually beneficial relationship, right? I know you might think you might not need them, but you kind of do. You kind of do. And bonus, if any of them speed up and accelerate, I mean, they're not going to leave you behind. They're going to take you with them. And again, everybody can win. I mean, I just got back from this event. It was great, but hanging out with, the guys and gals there, it was so fulfilling. And it was so cool to see a lot of them recently find success too. And even just say that I was a part of that, unprompted. If only the world were more like that. And I want to encourage you to do your part and do that. Find the up-and-comers. That's your job right now. Who are the up-and-comers in your space? Get to know them. Get them on a call. Just build a relationship with them, right? Now, I will say that it can be intimidating. Don't forget that. You can be intimidating because you've been in the space for a while. But once you have those conversations and make people feel welcome and make them feel comfortable, I mean, it just makes the world such a better place. I wish I had a better way to express all this, but I hope I did the job here today. Because, I mean, even if you feel like you are the up-and-comer, there's still going to be people who are up-and-comers too, and you should connect with them and those who are just starting out, and even helping people who are trying to get in it too, right? Abundance. That's the key word. There is enough for everybody. And if everybody worked together, you all would be able to gather more things together, right? We are not at a poker table where if you win, I lose, and if I win, that means you lose. We can all win together, right? So go do that. Up-and-comers, who are they? Go find them. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Take care, and I look forward to serving you in the next episode. Cheers! Thank you so much for listening to the Smart Passive Income podcast at smartpassiveincome.com. I'm your host, Pat Flynn. Sound editing by Duncan Brown. Our senior producer is David Grabowski, and our executive producer is Matt Gartland. The Smart Passive Income podcast is a production of SPI Media and a proud member of the Entrepreneur Podcast Network. Catch you next week. Look, I get it. You want to grow your business, but trying to sell to hundreds or even thousands of people gets very exhausting very fast. But what if you could sell at scale with a simple, powerful quiz? Score App helps you sell to more people without adding more to your plate. You build a quiz or assessment that your audience actually wants to take. Then they answer a few quick questions and get a personalized result right away. It shows them where they're at and what they need to do next and how you can help. And you build huge amounts of trust before you make even a single offer. No hard sell, no chasing leads, just value at scale. Get 50% off the first 3 months using the discount code SPI. All you have to do is just head to scoreapp.com/SPI. Again, that's scoreapp.com/SPI. Hey, fellow podcaster, does this sound like something you've experienced? You record your podcast episode on one platform, download the files, edit in another app, then fire up a different tool just to create these social clips. Well, it can be clunky, time-consuming, and frankly overwhelming, especially for creators trying to grow. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about Riverside. Riverside is the all-in-one platform. Record, edit, and repurpose your podcast content all in one place. You just log in, record with your guests no matter where you are in the world, and just like that, studio-quality audio and high-resolution video. We use Riverside here at SPI as well now. With built-in AI, I can automatically clean up my audio, saving myself so much editing time, and it can even auto-generate clips to make promoting the show a breeze. And with Magic Clips, I can grab the best moments and repurpose them as short-form video, perfect for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram, without re-recording a thing. So if you're tired of juggling tools and want a faster, simpler way to create and scale your content, it's time to try Riverside, built by creators for creators. Just go to smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside and use code SMART to get 1 month free on the Pro plan. That's smartpassiveincome.com/Riverside, promo code SMART.